welcome back to my creative space. It's lovely to have you here today. It's another beautiful spring day here. It's almost summer, isn't it? We're getting some much warmer days now and it's lovely. Don't you find, those of you who are having this experience at the moment, the rest of you who are going into winter, sorry, but it's just so lovely. I feel like you're just expanding because it's warmer and nicer to be outdoors more and everything's just softening. It seems easier somehow. Over winter I feel you get very held, very tight, and that's okay. I don't mind that. I like kind of going within and just doing cozy things indoors, appreciating the wild wintry days and then coming in and being cozy. But now I feel as though I can expand and everything's growing like Billy-O. I need to get my scythe out, I need to get some chopping back done. There's all sorts going on. All the seedlings that we've planted are just shooting up and we're going to have to get more planted out. It's very exciting. There's this sense of possibility, I think, at this time of year, don't you think? April, May particularly, everything's greening up, everything's got potential, new things are coming. And we don't know what's coming. We don't know what's coming exactly. We don't know how the summer's going to work out, but there's this sense of hope and optimism. I was talking to my neighbour about it the other day and we were just saying how we really love this time of year because it's full of possibilities, it's full of potential, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you know there's hope, you know there's something good coming. It's just lovely. And as I say, the sense of warmth, and I can open all the windows in the house. I feel like cleaning, I feel like decorating, I feel like pulling out cupboards and tidying things out. It's all a bit mad really, but it's all good, and I hope that's happening for you as well where you are. If you're at all inspired by anything I'm doing here, that's great, but you know, we're all doing our own thing our own way, and that's one of the other things really, is, you know, how I live my life and what I choose to do is mine. You may not be at all interested in tidying and cleaning and sorting out, and if you're going into winter, if you're in Australia or somewhere, New Zealand, somewhere where the seasons are going the other way, that's equally lovely. You know, I personally appreciate every season in turn. Often we get, you know, mixed weather, don't we? Weather in the UK we talk about a lot because it's very mixed and it determines a lot of what our activities are, but I try and work with each day as it comes. I don't even look at the weather forecast. People are always telling me what the weather forecast is and I just go, that's lovely, and then I get up in the morning and I see what's happening and I stick my nose out the door. And sometimes obviously it's useful if you're planning a big event or something, you know, it's useful to know what's going to happen weather-wise, but otherwise I'm just willing to take my chance, take my raincoat, put my brolly in the car and see what happens. Take a risk, put my shoes on that are maybe not the most sensible shoes, but I don't care. I'm just going to take a risk and see what happens. And it's the same I find with my artwork these days. Those of you who've been with me for a while, I've been doing this for 4 years nearly now. It's incredible, and I see the changes in what I'm doing. I see the growth and the expansion in what I'm doing, the softening, the loosening up. I'm no longer tightly controlling things. I'm not really interested in what it's going to look like. I'm interested in the process and the journey, and I think that is so much what life is all about, isn't it really? It's all about the process and the journey and how we go about things, how we tackle things, how we feel, you know. So today I'm going to show you some more of my little sampley things that I got out of my cupboard, out of my stash as part of my sort of sorting out. I've definitely got the urge to finish things off at the moment. This urge may not last. It might be a flash in the pan, but while it's here, I'm going to run with it. So I'm going to show you what I'm up to and we'll get some things going. So what I've got here is my faithful little stash of things that I feel like I want to work through these. You know, I mean, I could use these for the next several years and not finish them all. And in the meantime, I probably want to start something new because that's always the way, isn't it? But I just feel as though there's lots to be going on with here, and sometimes it's really helpful to have something that you start with that's already started. You know, I'm really good, I don't know about you, but I'm not really very good at going and designing something from scratch. That's always hard for me. That's quite hard and quite scary. So if I'm doing a room, I will happily go in and tweak a room and fiddle around with it, and I'll know what to do with what's there, what to put in and what to take out. But if I'm given a completely empty room, that makes me feel really uncomfortable. I'm much better at making things better, if you like, taking something and tweaking it and making it better than it is, maybe. Perhaps that's a good way of saying it. So it's the same, I think, with this. When you've got something already down, it's like having a sketchbook that I do, as I've shown you, if anybody's watched my sketchbook ones, my videos, I always start with a page that's already printed or painted or got something stuck on it, so that I'm not faced with the blankness. And I'm finding this with these little pieces. I'm finding it's much easier to tweak something and turn it into something different and work with that. Turn it into something new, particularly as I've done these quite a while ago. It's quite good, really. So I'm going to pick one out today. I'm feeling still quite landscapey. I'm going to pick another one out to do, and we'll see where that takes us. Yeah, having something ready down to play with and to work from, I think it stops you going to that place of fear of, oh, where do I start? It's much more playful. It's almost like you should spend a day just putting fabrics down onto some other fabrics and just create some bases, if you like, and then take those. And I also like that this is not, what's the word? What am I looking for to say here? This is not who I am now necessarily. I'm looking at them with fresh eyes. I've got fresh ideas. I've got new ways of working with things which are much looser than I've been before in the past. I used to be quite tight how I worked. Everything was quite precise. I often worked things out before I started, and now I work in a much looser way. So that's really quite exciting. So I hope you'll enjoy this journey with me. We're going to pick another piece out and we're going to play with it and see where that takes us. A voyage of discovery yet again. Or not knowing the outcome. Let's play and just see what happens. Ooh, it's so exciting. Don't you just love a bit of fabric? Aren't those just gorgeous colours? That's from a piece I made last year, and I took the scraps and just embellished them down in a random fashion, and that's what I got. And I love those colours, but it's not what I want to work with today. As I say, I'm feeling quite landscapey, so I'm thinking not seascapes, not rough things, not sparkles today, not textures on this lovely little piece here. No idea what I could do with that. Maybe, you know, turn it into a bracelet-y thing. Perhaps I will be doing some of these things. I'm definitely feeling very creative at the moment, so we'll see what comes out of things, eh? This is what I'm looking for. I think I might have made this for a video. I can't even remember. And it was kind of a demo of how to do free machine embroidery and doing a little landscape and just playing. You can see how I worked with the lines. It's very simple. I think it's got some tearaway stabilizer on the back. So it's very thin. It's very thin, and it's not really my favourite style because it's not very textured. So I think this is what we'll start to work with today. And we will see where it's going to take us, huh? Just get those out of the way. So this is a piece which would look lovely in a little frame, I think. You know, you could make that into a very nice, simple little landscape. But to me, it's really boring. I'm sorry. It's got some nice textures, and actually when I see it framed up like that, I think, well, do I actually want to sort of mess around with it? And I think the answer is yes. I feel as though this doesn't represent kind of who I am at the moment. So I feel as though, yes, this doesn't represent who I am, and it's got potential to become something a bit more exciting if I just play around with it. If I'm courageous and I'm willing to really change it up. So, no more Mrs. Nice Guy, no more Mrs. Polite. Let's get some fabrics out and see what's going to happen. Okay, so I've put together a basket of possibilities here. I've pulled some fabrics out that I think might take me forward with this little piece. Some very fun little lacy bits, stretchy bits. I love this fabric because it's got 3 shades I'm not so keen on these bits, okay, but I really like these little bits here. They're really nice when you embellish them, but also they've just got potential because they've got colour mixing going on. I've got my shruggy material, which I really love to use. I've got some of this lacy stuff, which might have a place to play. I don't know, we'll see. And I've got some yellows, and I've got some sort of weird greeny stuff. We'll just see. This is silk, apparently, according to... Oh, 50p. This must be from when I was at college. Oh, we used to have this cupboard, this wonderful cupboard that was full of samples and threads and different kinds of fabrics that you could buy. And that's 50p. There you go. That's been in my stash a while. Goodness me. Right, so let's put that over there for a moment and have another look at this. Now, you might be thinking, oh, she's going to ruin something here, and maybe I am, but I'm willing to take the risk. I feel as though this is just not me anymore. It's not representing me. It doesn't spark joy, as a certain famous Marie Kondo says. It doesn't spark joy, but I think it's got potential. And I think this is something to do. You know, if you've got something you really don't like in your house, you know, what do? You change it, you paint it, or you get rid of it. And I think it's the same with this. I think this has got potential. If I start covering things up, if I get rid of those seed heads, those grass heads, instantly it's something different going on. And I think, well, if I add some more, I want to kind of keep this yellowy colour at the front. I want to keep the sense of the sort of seed headiness, if you like. I don't know whether any of this would be any good. We'll have a little look. Let's just cut a little bit of this off and just see. This is where I'm just playing again. I am taking my fabrics, I'm playing, I'm looking, I'm seeing, I'm feeling, and I'm thinking what might or might not go. See, I really quite like this because it's got a nice crinkle to it. Now, whether I could keep that crinkle, I don't know, possibly. I also like this lovely sort of line it's got going on. That's quite seed heady as well. What else have we got? What else have we got? Oh yes, so this is a random piece of that lacy stuff I was saying about. See, now something like that instantly adds some texture to the mountains. So you could keep the mountains sort of as they are, but we could be adding a little bit of fun texture to it, just to break it up a bit more, just to make it a bit more sort of, I don't know, believable or something. Let's just have a little look. Let's mess around with it a little bit more. So this is a bit that I've just cut, which feels helpful to cut it into the sort of lines and shapes. Possibly. Get my sleeves out of the way. So what I like is, what do I like here? What do I prefer this? Why do I prefer that? Because it's got the potential for a bit more texture. I don't like this flatness. I might even put something waddingy. Waddingy, is that a word? Is that a word? I might even put some sort of a thickener, a quiltiness to it. I mean, I can't take off the backing, that's pretty stiff already. But we'll see. We'll just see what the effect of just adding more fabric and more stitch could have on it. I don't know whether this has got a place to play, a part to play, I should say. Let's just cut a little bit off. This has got different shades. It's got golds and it's got really dark colours. So you could be adding that in to the yellowy stuff. We could be adding a bit of this in, possibly. Cut that down a little bit more. For me, it's all about playing and seeing what works, what doesn't work. So I don't think that does much for me. It doesn't do much for me, but I think that's got some potential. So let's see if we've got oh, there's a flatter piece here. Let's use that. I think if I just disguise those seed heads a minute, we might begin to see the potential. Don't you think? I think I just don't like things flat anymore. I think I've really got to have texture. I seem to have moved into a place of texture. Some little bits of this stuff, look, a little bit of shruggy stuff. So that's a nice dark colour, which I don't think goes there or there or there even, but it might go a bit, possibly something like that up there, or a little bit of that up there. Oh, isn't this fun? I just love doing this. And this shruggy stuff, if you haven't seen me use this before, this is wonderful. It goes wonderfully under an embellishing machine, but it's also just really useful when you're just doing free machine embroidery to add texture. Now I might have to do something with these edges a bit because they're a little bit, because I sliced it. What I did was I made it and then I cut it because I was actually going to frame it. You see, even now, if we then take the framey thing and put that on top, doesn't that look much more interesting and exciting? And even if this is kind of coming up out through the frame, so that's a possibility. I could be framing it in a mount, or I can be tucking these edges in under there and stitching some more bits on. Now whether I want to do big seed heads back on it, I don't know. Let's have a little play with some, what have we got? Oh, we had some silk, didn't we? Let's have a little, let's just find the silk. Just a minute. Stop. So I am just tinkering around here. I'm wondering whether I keep some really big seed heads again, but make them that they kind of really are, they kind of stand out on here with some wadding maybe behind them. Could try doing that. Just trying these as a colour. This is just very much messing about. That's got a shiny side and that's got a non-shiny side. I think probably the non-shiny side would be the way to go. What else have I got? So I've also got some of my 50p silk here that I thought I would just cut a couple of pieces. Ooh, I'm getting two there. Just a minute. Just a minute. It's such a lovely morning. Everybody's gone out. It's just me at home, so it's really quiet. Me and the cat. And she's snoozing in the kitchen. She's quite happy. She just had her mid-morning snacky thing that she gets. 4 meals a day. It's not bad really, is it? But she's 18, you know. She's 18 and a half, in fact. And doing very well. Oh, now this just jumped out of my box as well. This is an interesting piece of, it's organza that's been stitched. And it's rather textured, and I thought, well, actually, that could be quite fun down at the front of here as well. A little bit of that just slapped on with some of this. See, it's starting to lift. It's starting to give me some joy because it's got texture. Now, what will happen when I stitch things down, I don't know. I don't know whether I want to embellish things. I don't know if I, you know, it's just playing at the moment. So I'll play around a little bit more and I will firm up my ideas. Oops, that's got moved, hasn't it? That was supposed to be up there. And where's my little bit of that stuff? That's gone as well. That's gone AWOL as well. Because I think that all helps to bring the picture to life. It brings it more to life. So I'll play around a little bit more, firm up some ideas and show you where I'm getting to.